Hi everyone. Do you like computer games? When I was young, I liked computer games a lot, and my favorite computer game was this computer game. This computer game is called SimCity 2000. SimCity 2000. So SimCity 2000 was my favorite computer game when I was young, when I was about 12 years old. And so SimCity 2000 came out in 1993, and the next year, in 1994, when I was 12 years old, about 25 years ago now, I bought a copy of SimCity 2000. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think I paid $50, or at least $50. I think more than $50 for a copy of SimCity 2000. So that was back in 1994 when I was 12 years old. So that was 25 years ago now. And I paid about $50 or more than $50 for a copy of SimCity 2000. And recently, this year, in 2019, I decided to search online for the game. So I searched buy SimCity 2000. I searched online and I found you can buy a copy of SimCity 2000 online. So that's what I did. I bought a copy online and it only cost $6, about $6. It only cost $5.99. So back in 1994, when I was 12, I paid around $50 or more for a copy of SimCity 2000. But now this year, in 2019, this year I'm 37 years old, and I bought a copy of SimCity 2000 online on the internet, and I only paid about $6 for it. I paid $5.99. So I bought it earlier this month, back in September, on September the 3rd, so this month, on the 3rd of this month, I bought a copy of SimCity 2000 online for about $6, for $5.99. So in the game SimCity 2000, it is a city simulator. So in SimCity 2000, you are the mayor of a city. So your job is to lead the city and to build the city. And this is called a city simulator. The word sim here in SimCity 2000, sim is short for simulator or simulation. So sim means simulator or simulation. One kind of simulation is a flight simulator. So this is a flight simulator. He's not really flying a plane here. It's a simulation of flying a plane. It's using a computer. So this is a flight simulator. So it simulates flying an airplane or flying a jet plane. So these are flight simulators. And this game, SimCity 2000, is a city simulator. So it simulates a city. It simulates what it's like to build a city, and it simulates how a city works, how a city grows. And you can see on the cover here, on the package, there is a city here. There's lots of buildings here, and there's a bridge. So this is SimCity 2000. And since I bought SimCity 2000, I've downloaded it and it's on this computer. So I'm going to try playing SimCity 2000 here. So let me exit this, exit PowerPoint here, and I'll go to SimCity 2000 on my computer. So I'm going to double click here on the shortcut to SimCity 2000 to open it. So it's loading now, and there's some options here. So number one is to start SimCity 2000. So I'll press 1. There, I pressed 1, and now it's starting up. Oh, there's the music, and the company is Maxis. It's made by Maxis. There you can see this game came out in 1993, and it was made by Maxis. So now there's some options here, and there's the title screen, SimCity 2000. So I'm going to start a new city here. So I'm going to make a new city. Actually, first, I'll edit the map. Okay, so there's the map here. Let me turn off the music here. There. Okay, so here is a map, and so this is the land. This is where I would build the city. So we can see here, there's a stream here, or you can see there's a river here. There's some flat land here, so there's lots of flat land here. There's a few lakes. There's a lake here, a small lake. Here's another lake. This one is a little bit bigger than this lake. Oh, here's another lake. This is kind of a long lake. And then there's lots of flat land here. So this land here is very flat, but there are also some hills here, some hills or mountains. And here's another area. This is flat, but it's higher. It's kind of a plateau. And then you can also, let me zoom in and zoom in again. Oh, there's a small forest. There's some trees there. So there's some trees on the map. Here's some more trees, kind of a little forest here, a few little forests. And so there's some trees scattered around. There's many trees here on the land. So there's some flat land. So we want some flat land so we can build a city on it. So I'm going to go with this map. You could change it a bit. I could add some more trees. There, I'll add lots of trees there. There's a nice forest there. And let's add some more trees. So I can put lots of trees, lots of forests there. Put some forests. I'm going to put some forests here, up in the hills, up in the hills here. Put lots of trees there. Okay, so now I think I'm ready. So I'll click on done, and there. So now I'm starting my city. So I'll make it easy. There's easy, medium, and hard here. In easy mode, you get lots of money. You get $20,000. In medium, it's a little bit harder. You only get $10,000. And in hard, you don't get any money. You have to borrow $10,000 from the bank. So you get a bond, but you have to pay $10,000 back to the bank. And I can choose which year to start. I can choose 1900, 1950, 2000, or 2050. So I think I'll choose, I'll go with the year 1900, and I'll put it on easy. So I will have $20,000. And what should I name my city? I'll call it, my name is Chris, so I'll call it Christown. So I'll name this town or city after me. So I'll call it Christown. And I will click on done to start the city. And there's the newspaper. It says groundwork laid for Christown. So the city started here. It's 1900, January 1900. And the newspaper only costs 1 cent here. So there's a newspaper for my city. And I'll close the newspaper, and I'll pause the game. So I'll stop everything so that I can, let me turn off the music there. Okay, so now it's 1900 and I have $20,000. So I have lots of money to start building my city. So I can decide now, where will I build my city? I think I will build it here. So I'll zoom in on here where I want to build the city, and I think I'll start up here. So the first thing I need is electricity. The city needs electricity, so I need a power plant to supply electricity. So there's a few choices. There's coal power, and this one costs $4,000 for a coal power plant. That uses coal, so it makes lots of pollution. So there's lots of smoke here. So if I use that, it will make lots of pollution. If someone's near it, they'll be coughing from all the smoke, all the pollution. But it's not that expensive, and it produces a lot of power. This one produces a little bit more, but it's much more expensive. It costs $6,600, but this one costs only $4,000. And then this one is a hydroelectric dam that uses hydroelectric power. It needs a waterfall. So I'm going to start with a coal power plant. So I will click on that, and I will position where I want the coal power plant to go. So I think I'll put it here. I'll put it far away from the city. So there, I put the coal power plant over there, and I'll add some power lines. So the power lines will transmit the electricity from the power plant to the city. And my city is going to be here. It's going to be far away from the power plant. Because if my city is close to the power plant, there will be lots of smoke from the power plant and pollution from it coming into the city, and people will be coughing, people will be sick from the pollution. So I will have it far away and use the power lines here to transmit the power or the electricity to the city. So now I'll build my city here. So first I will build some roads here. I will build some roads. So a straight road here, and then another road here. And let's see, I will make the roads like this. Some roads going straight across here, and like this. And I'll have some roads going across here like this. So we have, you can see some intersections here. So these roads cross at these intersections, or at this intersection. And I'll add some more road here, and there's another intersection. I'm going to lower this land here. I just destroyed that bit of road that was going up, but I can build some more road here and have it cross this road. And there. So now we have a grid of roads or streets. So there's streets crossing, and they make several city blocks. But the city blocks are empty right now. They don't have any buildings. It's just empty, except for some trees here. So now I need to zone these areas so I can build different zones. And the zones will determine what kind of buildings, what kind of things will be built there. So there are residential zones. So these green zones are residential zones. So that means residential means houses or apartments or places where people live, where people sleep. So residential zones, these green zones, I'll build some here. They will have houses like this, and also apartments and condominiums. So those will be places where people will live. And then I will build some commercial zones. So commercial means things like stores or offices, places where people work, where people buy things. So you can see some office buildings here. So I will build some commercial zones next to them, next to the residential zones. And then finally there are industrial zones. And you can see these are factories. These will be things like factories and places where things are made, where different things are manufactured. So you can see these look like the power plant here. They all have, these factories have smokestacks. They will make lots of smoke. So the important thing is that I don't want the industrial zones here to be too close to the residential zones. So I want them to be far away. I want them to be far, far away from where people live, because if I have, for example, if I have the industrial zones right here, then there will be factories too close. There will be a lot of pollution. So people there, they'll be they'll be coughing on the smoke. They will be getting sick from the pollution. So I will get rid of these zones. I don't want industrial zones there. I don't want factories to be close to the homes, to be close to the houses or places where people live. So now I need some power lines to bring electricity to these zones. So I'll add power lines to make sure the zones all have electricity, that they all have power. And now I will unpause it. So I'll set it to fast to see what happens there. Oh, and now you can see right away there's a lot of construction. So a lot of buildings are being constructed, are being built here. So you can see there's some construction sites. This one. Let's take a look at this. It says construction, so there's something being constructed. This is an industrial zone, so it's probably a factory or something like that that is under construction. You can see there's the crane here. This building is under construction. It's being built. There's another, this has been built. It looks like some kind of, it says chemical storage, so it's a big tank that holds some kind of chemicals. And then over here, so that's the industrial zone. It has things like factories, places where things are manufactured, where things are made. And then over here in the commercial zone, there will be stores and offices. So over here, there's already a gas station. So this is a place where someone can buy gas or fuel for their car. And it also has a store here. And over here, there are some houses already. So luxury homes. These are some expensive homes. It says the land costs $130,000 per acre. So the land's quite expensive. And there's a house there, or some homes. Here's some more houses. And there's, it looks like a house under construction. So there's some construction here. So now things are being built. So I'll unpause it. And while I'm waiting, I'll build some more zones here. So I'll make the zones the same size. So they're each 6 squares by 6 squares. So I'll close that for now. Let me just pause it. And again, these are all the same size. So these are 6 squares by 6 squares. These will also be 6 squares by 6 squares, these city blocks. So I will add three more city blocks here. I'll just get rid of this extra road and bulldoze the rubble away. There's the little bulldozer. Look, I can bulldoze these trees down. Oh, look, now people are angry. They're very angry because I'm cutting down the trees. Oh, yeah, they're booing, boo! Stop cutting down those trees. So the people in my city, they don't like that when I destroy the trees. So I'll stop doing that. I'll just add some more zones here. Commercial zone, residential zone for some more homes, and then industrial zones for more factories and things like that. And I'll add power lines. And you can see there's already, I've paused it again. You can see there's already some more construction, some more things. There's some apartments. So these are apartments. There's a little playground here and apartments. So many more people live there. let's see. Oh, there's a factory. There's a bit of smoke coming from the factory. Over here is a church. So there's a church. You can see the cross there. Most churches, or many churches, have crosses, and there's stained glass. Many churches have stained glass windows like this. So there's a church here on this corner, and there's some more construction. So I'll unpause it and let it continue. And oh, look, now we have an office building. There's a small office building that's been built. Here's a convenience store. So that's a small store where people can buy things. A convenience store is a place like, for example, 7-Eleven is a very famous convenience store. There are 7-Elevens in many countries all over the world. So that's one example of a convenience store. Here's some more apartment buildings. Oh, there's one. Oh, this one is a red apartment building, just like this one. It says nice apartments. I guess these apartments are good. This says cheap apartments. These are not very expensive, and they look small and not as nice. There's some more construction here, some cranes here. So there's lots of construction. Christown awakens. So the city is growing. The city is getting bigger. And let's see how many people are in my city. So it says the population. How many people are in my city? The population is 2,250 people. And so this is Christown, and there are a few cities beside Christown. So there's Eubanks, so it's a very small town. It only has 151 people. There's Yestonia. Yestonia has about 4,000 people. Cat's Corner has about 1,300 people. And Lister has almost 800 people. And then these cities are all in the country, Sim Nation. It says the population of Sim Nation is 10 million people. So the country that my town is in has 10 million people, and my town, it's not really a city yet, it's just a small town. It has 2,250 people. Oh, and you can see also here there's some traffic here now. So if I unpause it, you can see the traffic here. These cars or other vehicles are moving. So there's some traffic now. And there's some traffic here at these intersections. So people are driving from one place to another. They have to drive from where they live to where they work. So they have to get from their house or their home to where they work. So some people will work at offices like this, so they'll work at offices, or some people will work at factories like these. So they're driving to work from here, from where they live, to where they work, to these offices or factories or stores or places like that where they work. So let's speed up the game and see if there's some more construction. Oh, look, there's some big office buildings now. There's a taller office building. And here's a grocery store. This is somewhere you can buy food. So there's a grocery store there. Oh, there's a hotel, a resort hotel. So a nice hotel there. And there's some more factories here. There's another factory. There's some smoke coming from the factory. If we unpause it, you can see the smoke. Oh, there's lots of new buildings here, lots of office towers or office buildings, and lots of apartments. And let's see, I've spent about almost $10,000 now. I've spent about $9,000. So when I started, I had $20,000, but now I only have about $11,000. So remember, I spent on this factory, the power plant, but it has smoke like a factory. But this coal power plant cost $4,000. So I spent $4,000 on this coal power plant. And then I spent money to build the roads to build roads for the city. Here, I'll build some more roads. Whoops, not. Oh, those are train tracks. I don't want those. I'll get rid of the. So I just got rid of those train tracks, and I'll replace them with some more roads. So I spent money on roads and also on the power lines, and I spent money on the zones. So those things all cost money. So I spent almost $10,000 on building the city. But I also get taxes here. So I can tax people's property. So I get money from taxes, and I can raise taxes. Oh, do you hear that sound? People are booing, boo, because I raised the taxes. So the people don't like it when I raise taxes. But if I lower taxes, there, they'd cheer, yay! So I've lowered taxes, and people like when the taxes are lower. So I lowered taxes to 7% here. So I'll keep them at 7, and then I get more money from property taxes. So people pay taxes on their property, on the land that they own. So I get money for that from taxes. So I'm going to add some more roads here. And I think here I will build more, again, the blocks are the same size, so they're 6 squares by 6 squares. And I will make all of these industrial zones. The yellow colored zones are industrial zones, and add some power lines, some more power lines, and connect all those power lines. And then over here, I will add some industrial or residential zones. So some more places for houses and apartments and other places where people live. So I'll make these residential zones and add some power lines. And it says people want residential zones. So there's high demand. People want places where they can live. So I'll add, oops, I meant to put, I'll just destroy these power lines, bulldoze them down with the bulldozer here, and put roads. I wanted to put roads there, so I'll put a road here and a road here, and I'll make these squares 6 by 6, and I will connect the roads together, and then add some residential zones here, and then add some power lines, connect the power lines there like that, and then I will unpause it, and you can see there's already houses going up, new buildings. So new houses, and I think an apartment here. Oh, there's some more. Oh, that one's abandoned. There's no one there. Oh, it was just abandoned. That means everyone left, so the building became abandoned. I guess no one wanted to live there. But this one, oh, it says condominium. So this is, they're like apartments, but people buy the apartments in this building, so it's a condominium. So let's unpause it again. And oh, there's some nice apartments there. So all these places have apartments. And let's see. So I'm just going to add a few more zones here and let the city grow. So I'll add some zones here, some industrial zones. And connect them to the power lines like that. Connect them so that they get electricity from this power plant, from my coal power plant. And I will add some more residential zones. Where can I put them? I could put them along here. So I'll just have them go along this street or road, and along this one, like this. So I don't need any new roads. I'll just add those residential zones and add some electricity there. So you can watch those grow. And oh, it says people want a police station. So we need a police station. People are complaining about crime. So there is a police station. That sound is a police siren, like a siren on a police car. So I'll connect this police station up. So there's a police station, and also I'll add a fire station. So there's a fire station, and you can see it has 2 fire trucks there. So the fire trucks are there to put out if there's a fire. Actually, let's see what happens if there's a fire. So I'll unpause it, but I'll go to disasters here. So there's different disasters, different bad things that can happen. So if I go to fire, oh, there's a fire and it's spreading. So I think this house caught on fire. So we need the fire department to come and put out the fire. So I'll send the fire department here and also the police department here. And soon they should put out the fire there. So the firefighters, this is a fire hydrant. So a fire hydrant, the fire department gets water from a fire hydrant so they can spray it on a fire and put out the fire that way. So there, and here's the newspaper. So the newspaper says that there was a fire. So here's a photo of a building on fire. So now the fire is out. So there's a news story here in the newspaper about the fire. So I'll close the newspaper there, and I'll just clean up the rubble there. So there's just rubble there from the buildings that burnt down, from the houses that burnt down. And I'll just add some power lines there to connect them again. So there, you can see the city has grown a lot. There's some bigger factories, chemical processing plants. There's there's a warehouse. So a warehouse is somewhere where things are stored. So there's many different kinds of buildings here, factories and warehouses and other buildings. There's another factory, and so those are in the commercial zones. Oh, and my city has grown a lot. Oh, now it has 10,000 people, more than 10,000 people. So before, the city had only about 2,000 people, but now it's grown a lot. Now it's 1908, and the city has more than 10,000 people. So it's grown from a small town into a city. So now it has more than 10,000 people. And you can see it has many buildings. It has many bigger buildings. There's these office buildings. There's another office building. There's a shopping center, a mall or shopping center. And there's many apartments here. So the city has grown quite a bit. And if we zoom out, so I'll zoom out there, and you can see the city looks pretty big now, but it only covers part of this map, so I could still build it much bigger. So maybe later I'll build it over to the river and build more of the city over here and so on. But for now, I'll leave it at that, and next time maybe I will build it more and add some more things to the city. So I'm going to save the city, so I'll just call it again christown.sc2. So there's the file name, and I'll just save it with my other cities. There, I've saved the game. christown.sc2 is the file name. So I've saved it, so I'll just go to quit here. I'll save it again here, and just save over the file. And it saved it again, and there. So I will press 5 to exit SimCity 2000. So that is SimCity 2000. And when I was young, SimCity 2000 was my favorite game.